Oh, say it ain't so. Bad news for Vasyl High-Tech Lomachenko. Teofimo Lopez says, move on, run along, scram. He said it's over. He ain't giving him another shot. He's moving on with his career, and that's that. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest. Before I get started, make sure you order the Conor McGregor. I don't know what you're thinking. Who the fuck is that? The Conor McGregor upcoming UFC pay-per-view ESPN Plus. Order that from me. You could use my link. It does help the channel continue to grow. And the link in the description, get ESPN Plus. Order that pay-per-view, get ESPN Plus, or the bundle, ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All three apps for one low price of $12.99. If you get all three, click on that link. It helps the channel. I'm an independent creator. It helps us continue to grow. Teofimo did an interview, and I will link in the description. Teofimo says he will not, in the words of Maury Povich, you are not the father. You are not getting the rematch with Teofimo, says Teofimo. He beat Lomachenko, and this is what he said. Quote, because I'm going to be a dick, right? So he said he ain't giving Lomachenko a rematch. And because everybody was being a dick to me and my father. Team Lomachenko didn't want to put a rematch clause on our contract. There's a lot of things. I could get real dirty into this, but I'm not. I'm looking the other way. I'm looking for bigger and better things. This is now where I determine how my future is going to look and how I determine it, and it's not going to look like a cherry pick. I'm going to go out there and be a fan to the fans, and I'm going to go out there and take on everyone and anyone for them, because that's what really matters, the people. Cherry picking for me, I know I'm not the one. That's all I got to say. So he says it ain't looking too good and looking too hot for your boy Lomachenko. He says Lomachenko is a tremendous fighter, but you're not acting like a true champion saying such things. And he's obviously referring to, I did videos. Make sure you guys like, hit the bell notification icon, subscribe to the channel. I got the illest content, dope. But he's referring to Lomachenko and his claims that there was something underhanded done, which culminated in him losing to Teofimo. He says he believes that it was somebody's game and the deck was stacked against him. Lomachenko says that the judges somehow were bribed, and it was impossible for him to win due to that fact and favoritism, which sounds insane because there's really no proof for it, right? And then he also said that his shoulder was hurt, and he says Lomachenko, his foe, Teofimo, they knew about it. So I don't know how they know before the fight, but it wasn't reported that he had a shoulder injury. So I don't know how he's so certain that the opposing team, the rival team, knew, unless you feel like you were set up by the people who put on the fight, that promoted the fight, because who would release that information? But Teofimo says Lomachenko, he's a tremendous fighter, but he's not acting like a true champion. Move on. Sometimes I'm too tough on these guys, but it's my upbringing. He said it's his upbringing. I got to keep it real. I want the best for everybody. And I think Lomachenko, get back on your toes as much and either go back to 130. As I said, I told you I was going to bring you back to 130. Teo talking greasy. I like that. I like that from Teo. The boy talking greasy. He said he going to send him back to 130. And that would be the best suit for him. I wish him nothing but the best and have a great career. He still has got some time to make something. It could be a lot of things only he knows. Talking about the bias and all that bribery stuff. I could bash the man, but I already bashed him enough by beating him. Now it's about killing everybody with success. And they asked him, some people feel that he could be avoiding Lomachenko in fear of losing to him, because that's what Lomachenko has suggested. Lomachenko has suggested that Teofimo knows he was injured and he don't want no parts of the rematch because he knows he won't win it. And then Teofimo, to that question, he says, next question. Listen, Teofimo also said some other things. I feel like Teofimo, he's feeling himself. It is what it is. I don't know how many people even want to see the Lomachenko rematch. I'm not sure on that. I wouldn't mind it. It's not. There's a lot of rematches. Like, let's say Manny Pacquiao. I want to. It's up to my promoter, Bob Adam. You know, I feel like the fight with Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley, part 3, I think that was overkill. You know, Lomachenko, Teofimo, I wouldn't mind if they ran it back. So I'm not really sure why, you know, Teofimo is taking such a harsh stance on it. You know, it doesn't matter to me because he did beat him. So it's not mandatory that they go back. But again, I've seen some rematches that took place that really didn't need to. Like, to me, I think I'll put it like this. I would rather see Lomachenko versus Teofimo part 2 than Canelo versus Golovkin part 3. You see what I'm saying? Because I feel like so much has changed in the Canelo Golovkin. It's not even going to be remotely close to the fight that it was when the first 2 fights took place. This would still be a good fight, you know, and it would be interesting to see what type of adjustments Loma makes. And Loma, he did not actually rematch Orlando Salido, the first guy who beat him as a pro, in his second fight. So for that reason, I wouldn't mind it. But again, it's not mandatory. But the other thing that's concerning is he said he's going to fight for the fans, and it all sounded good. He said it's not going to be cherry picking, but his dad and him have basically said, so Team Lopez, that they'll fight Devin Haney, but they want $10 million. And then I even seen Teofimo Sr. said something to the effect of negotiate the fight, tell whoever to contact me directly. So it's just, it seems a little bit confusing. Like, so I wasn't aware that his father was the person to contact. You know, it reminds me of when Terrence Crawford team said they reached out to Angel Garcia, and I'm like, why did they reach out to Angel Garcia? No disrespect to him, I understand that's the trainer and the father, but why they reach out to him instead of Al Heyman? So it just doesn't seem, I don't know everybody's set up, but for me, that seemed like a weird statement, because I can't imagine to make a fight. Like, for example, Teofimo, his dad doesn't have a network deal, but Bob Arum does, and Top Rank does. So why would Teofimo Sr. say go through me, but he doesn't have a network to even put the fight on? Nor does he have a Top Rank has a long-term pact, 7 years or 4 to 7 years, whatever length of time it is, with ESPN. Teofimo's dad doesn't have that, so that didn't make sense. But again, make sure you guys like. I drop daily content. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification icon. I promise you, 2021, we are working. So, you know, if he's not going to fight Lomachenko, then I would certainly want to see a fight with a guy like Devin Haney. You know, Devin Haney's been calling out Ryan Garcia. He's been calling out Teofimo. He called out Lomachenko. And unfortunately, it don't look like he can get the maximum smoke. That's what I'm seeing so far. It seems like a lot of finger pointing and this and demands that we know won't be met, things of that sort. So we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully it'll play out in the boxing fans' favor. But from the sounds of it, Teofimo saying basically the Lomachenko chapter is closed, but then, okay, so you don't want to fight him. And then the Tank Davis fight is probably hard to make, and they're talking about Ryan Garcia might get that. So those two people might be out of it. He says my career is not going to be cherry picking, but then you say Devin Haney, you would want $10 million, which I don't know if that's feasible, especially since at the current moment we don't really have crowds and pandemic and stuff like that. And Teofimo had to fight to get, I think it was more than 1.25 million, you know, for the Lomachenko fight. So how's he going to get that for Devin? Would Bob Arum even make a Devin Haney fight, considering that's an Eddie Hearn fighter? And if Teofimo were to lose to Devin Haney, then you would be losing to a rival competitor, basically. So many questions there, you know. And again, to say like, oh, I don't want to rematch Lomachenko, but you may fight George Kambosos, who just fought Lee Selby, and I thought he should have lost the fight, you know. And you're gonna fight an Australian in Australia. So it seems real top rankish in terms of the move. The other thing that I'll talk about more in another video, so make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, is he's saying that he's the undisputed champion. And the WBC, they did an interview and said he's undisputed, but then they're saying Devin Haney is the champion too. All this is highly confusing. I'll save that so we have that in a separate video. But the WBC has made a mess. And see, this is the thing. I didn't initially blame Teofimo because this stuff happened with Lomachenko, but now he's going along with it, and you're kind of like that accessory to murder that I always talk about. Now you're kind of an accessory to murder, because he said in this interview that there's nothing to be confused about. The only people that are confused are haters. No, it's not the only people that are confused. Mauricio Sulaiman and the WBC, they're all about money, and they went out and did something that's confusing. It don't have nothing to do with hating. It has something to do with, you don't typically see this. Like if Conor McGregor in the UFC, if they say he's fighting Eddie Alvarez and Eddie Alvarez is the lightweight champion, then guess what? That's the lightweight champion. Conor beats him. He becomes the lightweight champion. Boom. It's not like Eddie Alvarez is the lightweight champion and Conor's going into the fight as a lightweight champion. That's what boxing does. So more politics, but I'll save that for another video. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Bad news for Lomachenko and high-tech fans that were expecting to see a rematch or think Lomachenko could do better, because he really didn't do ish in the first 6-7 rounds to me. So, you know, I don't really have too much of a feeling about it. You know, I feel kind of mixed about Teofimo saying no Lomachenko. I don't really know how to feel about it, because on one end I could easily make the argument like Lomachenko 2 is a better fight than George Kambosos and is bigger for boxing, but then you're discounting that. But then I could also say that Lomachenko really didn't do nothing for 6-7 rounds. Did he really work and deserve a rematch based on that performance? So let me know how you guys take it and how you look at it. Again, like and subscribe. I got the illest content when it comes to this boxing. And, you know, that's really the news. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego. So I don't know. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.